Hey all, Glenn here. I have some exciting news. We are going to Phenomicon in Vernal, Utah, September 6th through 9. Phenomicon is a convention. UFO experts and such, Bigfoot and such are going to be there. Specifically the Skinwalker Ranch cast. And so I'm going to be talking to Travis and Eric and Caleb and all, just everybody there. As well as the Expedition Bigfoot crew is going to be there, as well as George Knapp is going to be there, the investigative reporter. I'm very excited about this. We're going to be interviewing Russell Accord, if all goes well. I'm trying to arrange other interviews with other folks, so if you have any questions, be sure to send me questions so that I can ask for you. It's September 6th through 9, 2023 in Vernal, Utah, and I'm very excited. I hope to see you there with us. If you're interested, check it out at phenomicon.net, and that's it. We'll see you soon. In the theme of Phenomicon, I have a UFO story for you guys. Last year, I was working up in Alamosa, or just outside of Alamosa, in the San Luis Valley of Colorado, where there is a lot of UFO stories, a lot of just people seeing weird things in the sky. In fact, they have a UFO watchtower out there. But I was at one of the local convenience stores and asked my question, do you have any weird stories? And this young lady told me a story where back in about 2017, she saw on her video monitor a UFO just outside of her house. She actually has photos of that. We did an interview, had an audio issue, so I recorded it over the phone. Now, she didn't want her face shown, and I totally respect that, but she did tell me a lot of great details. In fact, I believe what she described was a portal opening and this UFO coming through it. Very interesting. So I'll let you hear her story, and I will see you on the other side.
20, 30 yards away was this thing peeking over this pine bush.
It was a large, hairy animal, dark brown, black hair.
All of a sudden, this creature let out I want to call it a blood-curdling, growling, howling scream.
That's when I realized it wasn't my friend that had snuck up on me.
Dude, all the branches that are broken off are red.
That's crazy. There's no medulla.
Okay, so this is on the corner of 13th and San Juan.
Yes, you're going to be looking, so it's apartments. You're going to go to the corner, to the window on the side, and you're going to be facing towards the children's garden. And then it's going to be right above the children's garden. That's where it happened.
When I had woken up, it was about, I would say, 4:50 in the morning, 5. I went to go use the bathroom, and I was walking back to my room. I decided just to go peek at the cameras, and the cameras were sitting in my mom's room. And my mom's room was right across the hallway from my room. So I just, made a left, went into my mom's room, peeked at the cameras, and then I noticed a big white spot in the corner of the cameras. And I was still half asleep, so I wasn't really too sure on what I was seeing. And when I looked closer, I noticed that it was a UFO. And by the time I realized that it was a UFO, it slowly started turning. But right before it was turning, when I was looking at the detail of it, it had lights underneath the railing on the top part of the ship. So the way how the ship looked, it looked like a fishbowl, but with a point at the top. In a way, I like to call it the Princess Tiara, because that's the way how it looked as it was disappearing. And it was pretty cool because right underneath the top part, it had lights, and these lights were you could see it going around the whole ship, and it was pretty fascinating. And when I was looking closer, you could see it started to turn, and as it was turning, like it started moving counterclockwise, and it was going right. It was going right, and it was spinning right, and it just kept spinning and spinning, and then all of a sudden it was just like kind of like poof, disappeared into the sky. And I had freaked out, so like when I went and I woke up my mom, and like I told her about it, and she was like, well, we'll look at the cameras when we all wake up. Well, a couple hours passed by. When we all finally woke up, my mom decided to go back through the cameras, and we were looking to see, like, so I could show her what I seen. And we rewinded it all the way back to about, I believe it was like 2:30 in the morning when we started to record it, like starting to watch the recording. And nothing happened all the way up until like about 3. At 3 o'clock is when we started seeing like a bunch of like snow. It was like raining and snowing, and it looked like wind was blowing it like sideways and stuff like that. It just looked like a blizzard outside, and there was no snow outside. There was no rain. There was no type of like Mother Nature going on outside, I should say. And it just didn't make sense. But as we were watching the video, there were these circles that appeared in the sky, and they were like transparent circles. And all of a sudden, they started disintegrating. And the way how they started to disintegrate, it was like a pie chart. Think of like a pie chart, and it's just like disappearing. And it was weird. So that appeared like a few circles, like 3 to 4 circles popped up and just disintegrated. And then a little bit, like about maybe 10 minutes after, it looked like there was another snowstorm, and it was like a blizzard, and it was going crazy. And then it calmed down a little bit, and then more transparent circles appeared in the sky right where the ship was at, and then they started disintegrating. And then the snow again, and then that stopped. And every time all this was happening, it happened for like the blizzard, it happened maybe about 5 minutes. I would say about 5 minutes. The transparent circles appeared and they disappeared. Like it would probably take like 10 seconds for each circle to disintegrate. And that took about like maybe 2 minutes, and then boom, the blizzard would start happening. And then after all that was happening, it was about, at the time, I'm pretty sure it said about like 4 o'clock. And that was when I would say maybe about like 4:30, I think it was, when it had appeared like a big, I don't clearly remember, but I believe it just like popped up on the screen as we were watching the recording. It just popped up in the screen on the corner. And me and my mom looked at each other like, that's weird. And as we were watching, that's when we seen it start, like you could see the lights underneath the top part of the, like, I want to say railing, and you could just see the lights moving, and then all of a sudden you could just see the ship slowly turning counterclockwise, and then it just slowly gets smaller and smaller, and then it just disappears.
So I've got a few questions for you if I can. When you said, so the snow, let's start with the snow. So the first thing was snow?
Yeah.
Okay, so it came from like the upper left to lower right. Is that correct? Is that?
Yeah, it looked like snow and stuff. Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't solid lines. It for sure looked like snow. Like it was like a blizzard outside.
Okay.
That's the best way I could describe it.
And then the circles appear. And you said, how many circles did you say there were? Ish?
Like about 3 or 4.
Okay.
3 or 4.
Did they all appear at the same time? Did they pop in and out?
They popped up like one after the other. So one popped up, and as it was disintegrating, another one popped up, and then that one started disintegrating, and then another one popped up, and that one started disintegrating. So it happened like right before the other circle was completely disintegrated.
Okay. Now, and did it pop up as a full circle?
Yeah, it would pop up as a full circle, and then it slowly started disintegrating.
Okay. And then, were they all the same size circles?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, which was odd, but yeah, they were all the same size circles.
And all this you only saw on the monitor. You didn't actually see it physically outside. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was all on the monitor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I did not see it at all, like
so-
through the window or anything.
and each one of these presentations, the snow and everything, lasted what, 5 minutes ish?
Yeah, 5 minutes ish.
Okay. And then you see this shape, what you're calling a UFO, just pop up into existence. It didn't come into the
It
picture?
didn't flow in. It didn't just fly in. Yeah, no, it just popped up.
Okay. And then how long do you think that the UFO was there? The ship, the shape, whatever it is.
Probably less than 2 minutes.
Okay, so it was very quick. And then it rotated and disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like by the time I realized what I was seeing, like when I had first seen it, when I realized what I was seeing, I went and I reached for the curtain and I lifted it up and I seen nothing outside. And then I looked at the screen, I seen nothing on the screen. So it freaked me out because I wasn't too sure if I was seeing what I was seeing because, you know, it was like 4 in the morning and I had just barely woken up to go use the bathroom.
Right. Now, what time of year is this?
So it was about, I believe it was probably in 2014.
Okay. And
That's
what's
the last time I seen it.
was it summertime, do you think?
It was, yeah, I think it was in July.
Okay. Okay.
I do remember it was mid-year.
Okay. And then so you've rewound the video. You've watched the video. While the video is happening, you started to take photos. Is that correct?
So I took photos when me and my mom went over the video afterwards.
Okay, so you were snapping photos.
And I didn't. Yeah.
Okay, and that's what we were looking at here are these photos.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the photos if we can. So you can describe to me what's going on with that. So do you have the photos pulled up? Okay, so now we're looking at this big smiley face looking bowl shaped thing with a real bright rim on either side. A little, as you called a tiara, almost a little gem at the top. Can you describe that thing to me? What we're looking at here?
I believe it's probably the top of the ship.
Okay. You said there were lights on it that were around
Yeah,
the
so
around.
like,
So looking at the picture, can you describe to me where on the picture the lights are?
yeah, so if you look, I guess, like that white brim on the very, very top, that point. So if you look, like, underneath the bright line, and then it's like that dark gray line, and then right underneath that dark gray line, it's very faint, but you can see, like, a very white line underneath it that, like, kind of outlines, like, the top part. Those are the lights.
Okay, and so it's difficult to tell on this. Why do you think they were? What makes you say they were lights?
Because in the video you could see them moving.
Oh, they were okay. So they were moving.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, in the video you could see the lights traveling around, like if it was a part of the ship, it was traveling around the whole ship.
Okay, so we only see the lights on the photo on the left-hand side of the shape, the ship there.
Yeah.
I don't
that's
see.
That's how you could see it.
Okay, so I don't see it on the right
Yeah,
hand.
that's how you,
Go on.
yeah, I'm so sorry. I keep talking over you.
No.
Yeah, on the right side you can't really see it, but as like on the left side, you know how you can see that the little light right there. Well, in the video, that part was the light, and it was traveling around the whole ship.
Like an old marquee light. If you have, they have a bunch of stationary lights, but they're timed and they go flash, 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 and it looks like they're moving. That would be one way to describe it. Another way would be describe that they're all in the same position, but all the lights physically are moving.
I feel like it was the second one. that you said. Like all the lights are moving. That's what it looked like.
Okay, were the lights blinking at all, or were they just solid on?
They're solid on.
And so I only see on the photo, it's only on the left-hand side, but you said it's also on the right-hand side. It's just not showing up very good?
Yeah, well, so like wherever the light wasn't at, it was like dark, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like on the left side of the picture, that little bright part where the lights are, that whole part was moving.
Okay.
Well, in that small section. So as it's moving, you know what I mean? Whatever it leaves behind goes dark.
Oh, okay. So would you again, if I'm holding up a salad bowl, right? And
Yeah.
I had a string of lights on half of the salad, around the rim of the salad bowl. I only had lights on half of it, and I spun the bowl. Is that what you're describing? That you would see it, the lights move from one side to the other?
Yeah.
Okay, so the lights were not necessarily all the way around the rim of the salad bowl, as much as the salad bowl is spinning.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I was trying to get that. And then that tiara point that we see there, what do you think that is? I mean, is that the top? Is that the side? What's your perspective of that?
I feel like that could be like where, like the windows. I feel like maybe it's like the roof of the object. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like it could be.
Okay, so this shape here is kind of a smiley face looking thing with a tiara at the top. Do you think it was physically larger than that, going up above that?
Yeah, I believe so. From
Okay.
the looks of it, yes.
Okay, because again, it's really hard to tell in these photos, so I'm just trying to get your impression, of what you perceived it to be. And all you saw it in is this black and white, this gray color. You did not see it in color.
Yeah, I didn't see it in color.
Now, I did an animation of the photos you sent me, put them together. Yeah. Is that more or less what you remember seeing?
Yeah, actually, it's very close. I would say almost the same thing of what I seen.
Now,
yeah, well, I don't know how you did it, but you made it look perfect.
Now, you also described something happening with the street lamp.
As the circles appeared, you could see, like, as they were disintegrating or whatever, the light was, like, getting brighter and stuff. It looked like a power was going into it and making the light shine brighter, and then it would get dim. It happened only once, though. And it was during the first time when the circles appeared.
Did it just get brighter in one time, or did it pulse brighter with every circle? Or what do you think?
Only with one circle. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Like I said, it's been so long.
Sure.
I just remember the light was getting brighter when the circles appeared.
Okay, but only the first time. The second time, it didn't happen.
The second time, though, yeah.
Okay, and then the third, and then when the craft appeared, again, the light didn't change.
No.
Interesting. Boy, that's a very interesting little detail. Now, I talked to your neighbors, and nobody there had ever heard of anything weird. But I did talk to somebody else who was on this end of town and also had a bright object follow her vehicle for a couple of miles. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking to her and getting her story. And she described it as being about 10 feet long or in diameter. I don't know if was a lozenge shape or it was oval or a circle, like a saucer. But if I'm looking at your photo here, your series of photos, if that's on this side of the window or this side of the street lamp, it's not monstrous sized. It's actually relatively small if it's on this side of the street lamp.
Yeah.
And over what is the corner of the, where it was currently a yard right now.
Yeah.
And what else I noticed is that it didn't appear to be illuminating the ground in any way. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
noticed that too. Like there's nothing, like nothing on the floor to show like any like reflection of like the object or anything. I thought that was weird too.
Yeah, because it doesn't appear to be reflecting off of the lamp post, or the sidewalk or anything else there. So that's very interesting. And your mom saw this too. Was there anybody else that saw this video?
No, it was just us.
What did you guys think you were looking at there?
Definitely a UFO. Like, no doubt in my mind that we were not looking at a UFO.
Wow. Do you know anybody else who's had any stories like this or any other encounters like this?
No, actually I don't.
Has this changed your perspective, your life at all? I mean, what is this? What has this made you think?
It made me think that there is definitely UFOs out there. I don't know. I want to say a lot of people think it's the government and stuff. It could be. It could not be. I just know that there is definitely UFOs out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw something. What do you think this was? Do you think this was? So you think this was absolutely a solid object, or what do you think?
I think it was a solid object.
Okay, and it had lights. Do you think it had? I mean, is your impression that it? Was there anything? I mean, did you have an impression of its purpose? Why it was there? I mean, do you have even a wild guess?
Abduct somebody? I don't know.
You really don't know, yeah.
I don't know, yeah. I just know that there's a lot of crazy things that happens here in the San Luis Valley. Like, we're like the main spot to see UFO sightings. So I just believe it's just another day or another night for somebody to catch their UFO sightings.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Now, prior to this event, prior to seeing this, what did you think about UFOs?
Oh, I believed them. I've always wanted to see one, but I never did until that day. And then when I did see it that night, I 100% for sure believed in UFOs.
So this is at 4 a.m. Did you hear anything?
No. It was quiet. Quiet.
Okay. And now, is it typical for, and I asked you this last time, is it typical for you to walk and look at the monitor?
Yeah, it was a normal thing for me to do.
This is an amazing story. I mean, again, it only lasted for a few minutes, but
yeah,
it certainly made you think. I mean, did you have a hard time going to sleep that night, or?
No, not really.
Okay, and then
I was only asleep for maybe like 2 more hours, and then I woke up.
Okay, and then you guys reviewed the footage.
The video. Yeah.
Okay, well, and so the video itself is lost.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the time. But these still photos are pretty incredible. Did you talk to anybody about this? Did you tell anybody else?
Oh, I told a lot of people, but I didn't have, the photos at the time, and I would tell people about it. So, I don't know if a lot of people believed me or not, but then when I started finding the pictures, I started showing a lot of people, and, they were just as amazed as I was. So.
Sure. No, it's absolutely. It's an amazing thought that here you are. You're not downtown Alamosa, but you're definitely in the city limits of Alamosa.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's in Alamosa, on the south side of Alamosa. I want to say close by the airport.
Okay.
That's
So,
where.
so do you think this thing could have been an airplane?
No.
Oh.
No. When the planes go by over there, they don't go that close. They go farther down. Like, the airport is still a ways down from where I used to live. So there's like, if you were to see the plane, you would see like the lights at the end of the plane. You'll be able to hear the plane. We didn't hear no plane. There was no sound, no nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. So the circles, I would say, maybe about like a car length size. That's how big they looked. The UFO, I would say probably about maybe as big as a RV connected to a truck.
Oh wow! So it was a lot bigger than it appears to be here. So
Yeah.
this, I'm looking at this photo, and in my perception, it's actually kind of this side of the lamp. But if it's further away, it's much bigger. So you think it could have been considerably further away, but larger.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I felt like it was pretty big.
Okay. These circles, were they like... Did you ever see The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
Remember when Glenda the witch would come in the bubble at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what it looked like, or can you just...
Yeah, I would say it's probably about big. Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually how they were pretty big circles,
Okay.
Like, I say like about a car size wide or whatever, but that's a perfect way how I should describe it, because that's pretty much how big the circles were.
But all you could see was the outer edge of the circle?
Yeah. Like you could see, like I said, it was transparent. So you could see a circle there, but you could see through it.
Did one appear, disintegrate, the other one appear, disintegrate, the other one appear, disintegrate, or were there multiple circles being shown at one time?
No, it just one after the other. And
So,
one appeared, and then as it was disintegrating, like when it was almost gone, another one would appear.
do you think it was a drone of some sort, or do you think it actually had something driving it, or what do you think?
I feel like there could have been something driving it. I don't think it was a drone of any sorts, because it's way too big. But I just don't understand how something that big could go unnoticed. Yeah, I really don't know. I feel like somebody was probably inside of it. I feel like there's probably UFOs inside of it.
Again, thank you for sharing. This is huge. This is my first UFO story that I've ever done, so pardon me for my poor questions and stuff and drilling down into details. Thank you so much for taking time. Well, what'd you think? I don't quite know what to make of this. She certainly saw something, she and her mom. And she's convinced that she saw lights on the bottom of it, or on the side as it was spinning around. And then it up and disappeared. Those circles, those are really interesting. I wonder if a portal opened up. I didn't catch that at the beginning, during the interview. I missed that whole part. But as I was editing the video, I thought about that, as well as that flash at the very end. When the thing disappeared, it appears to have been a flash on the ground, which kind of places it right over the intersection. So again, I don't know what's going on there, but it sure is interesting. And if you or anybody you know has an interesting story, whether it's Bigfoot, UFO, anything else, let me know. Encounters@modernexplorer.me. I'd love to document your story, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.